Time now for the results of our psychic challenge. We welcome Anna and Angela, who have had readings all morning from two psychics. Well, psychic one is Chris, who you thought was called Derek, and psychic two is Gordon, who is called Gordon. And we'll be meeting them in just a second. But first, ladies, how have you got on? Anna, what did you think of today's readings?
I thought the first guy was quite businesslike.
And he was called
who I
Derek
Derek
or Gordon? Derek, yes.
Yeah. Whereas Gordon, I felt he was much more in tune with spirits and me, and I thought his answer, you know, he guessed a lot of things very accurately.
So Gordon, you felt was altogether slightly better?
Yes.
OK, and Angela, what did you make of the two of them?
I have to say the same.
Yeah.
The first one, very businesslike and very generalised, I felt. Gordon, I felt, picked up straight away on...
But in terms of accuracy, how accurate were both of them, Anna?
Well, I think the first guy was funny because he was accurate on really quite mundane things, like my washing machine breaking. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't that interesting. Whereas the second guy was very much more in tune with people from the past, you know, my husband, children. So therefore, I think he, you know, they were both sort of accurate, but the second guy was much more interesting.
OK, and Angela, you felt the same?
Again, the same, yes. Very accurate. Wow factor, in fact, the second.
Interesting results, yes. Well, it's time to bring on our two psychics, Gordon Smith and Derek O'Connor. In you come, both of you. What we didn't tell Anna and Angela is that Derek O'Connor is actually not a psychic, but in fact the country's leading sceptic, and he's Chris French.
Which is why you were blindfolded, in case you recognised his face.
I'm sorry about that.
Which is quite interesting, because I think the summing up of both our ladies there said that Gordon, you went straight to the heart of the matter, you know, much more in tune, and Chris, you've been on here before saying, listen, you can cold read anybody, but you've been sussed as being a bit general here.
My feeling was that the first reading went a lot better than the second one. I mean, I wasn't, you know... There were a few times, quite a few things that I came up with for you that you thought, oh, you said, oh, that's good, and admittedly it was all fairly mundane stuff. I'm not at all surprised. I mean, the reading that I did with you, I came out there and thought, well, that didn't go very well. You know, I kind of accept that. I mean, I'm not at all surprised that Gordon did a better job than me.
Well, it's his job.
He's been doing it for, you know, he does it day in, day out, that's what he does, you know. I'm kind of trying this after, you know, reading a couple of books on it and trying it on a few people and so on. Yeah. Overall, I was kind of, you know, I was quite happy with my performance with you, even though it was all very fairly mundane stuff.
Let's have a look at what you've done for us today.
This is Anna's first.
There are things that you would like to do, there are ambitions that you've got that you've not really made as much progress with as you'd like to. Some kind of kitchen malfunction, and I've got something about an unfinished book as well. Some kind of an event coming up soon that you got quite a big part to play in.
I wouldn't say I was 100% sold on him, but certainly little things, yes.
The name of Kenny or Kennedy actually calls forward. So if you go back to the year 2000, it was a really important time for you. I'm seeing a computer. Somebody's put a computer in front of me here. I've also got to talk to you about New York. Will you remember I've said that to you? Because it's important, and it's to do with a working thing. Not being in New York, but I feel as though there's messages going back and forward.
He got a lot of things. He was very accurate, actually, with a lot of things. And, yeah, he was definitely much more, I think, in tune.
Right, well, here is Anna, and you were talking to Chris first of all. You gave yourself the name Derek O'Connor because O'Connor sounds like you're conning them.
And so does Derek to me, but maybe that's another story.
Well, that's a whole other story. Now then, he said you were quite ambitious.
Yes.
Yes. Bubbly at a party. Need a good sorting out around the home.
Can we rephrase that?
I think the house...
I don't like to use those
house
words.
needs a good sorting out. Can see... Now, this is interesting, because I can see those are generalised things, and people would say, yes, I'm bubbly at a party, yes, I'm rather, you know. But you can see water on the floor in the kitchen, a kitchen malfunction, and
the washing machine did break.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So,
what can I say? Maybe I am psychic.
More than you thought. You have a boy and a girl.
And they missed out another one.
All right, so you have another little girl. There was an occasion when you regretted something. Good general question.
Yeah, I was like,
thought so.
no.
Yeah. Photos haven't been put in an album.
That was obvious. Yeah.
Yeah. It said at the time it wasn't obvious.
No.
It is now, isn't it? The name John comes to mind, and the date 26th is coming through.
Well, that was quite good, because that is a friend's husband, and it's their daughter's birthday on the 26th of May. So, why
I
did
don't
you
think I
of
did
that?
badly.
Yeah, why did you pick John and 26?
Oh,
because those
John's a very common name.
Yeah.
Very few people wouldn't know a John. The 26th is a Saturday, a couple of weeks ahead. Quite likely that there'd be something, but it was a guess. I mean, it was a guess. If you'd have said no, I'd have tried to twist it around and make
General
it something
fishing.
that did fit.
Okay, so
General fishing.
This is something that you've been doing for a very long time. This is how do you see it when you're reading someone? How do you see it?
I get the situation was very different for me because obviously the ladies were blindfolded, and it's not something that's common to me to sit there with blindfolded people, but you just have to try and tune into their feelings, and that's what I would pick up on. Any emotional thing, like the First Lady, I didn't feel there was a great need to have a sitting with a medium. The second lady here, I certainly did feel there was more emotional things and more healing needed.
Well,
there.
you've got the name Kennedy coming through. That's your married name. Concern over a job, maybe a partner concerned with a job. Birthday has been very close. Yours 2 weeks ago. Last 3 years have been hard working for you. Yes. If it wasn't for you, things would fall apart. Yes, but everyone would say that. There's a birthday around Christmas. That's your husband's name. John comes to mind. It's your friend's husband, another John. So new build in North London. Try to move, but you hate new builds. I'm seeing someone who passed away in your teens. You lost your mum in teens, and you did say a lady. So on the whole, you're saying yes. That's,
not bad.
Although you wouldn't look to go to someone for a reading.
No.
Okay, now that's all pretty spot on. So let's have a look at Angela's.
An accident around about teenage years. I'm getting the number 2 coming through. Well, that's your house number. And the name John. Again, I don't know if this makes any sense to you. I'm getting an unfinished book.
I thought it was quite general, really. My reading was quite general, nothing specific.
I'm going along the Thames. I feel as though I want to go towards the East End of London. A strong connection with that name, Angela or Angie, but there's a reason for it. And I feel whether it's the name or whether it's the song, I don't know. I've got to talk about a new house.
Yeah.
There's talk about a new house, or somebody moved to a new house. 2003.
Yeah.
I've got to go back then, and it was a real emotional time.
I'm just quite overwhelmed with it, really. I'm just trying to still take it in, but he was just amazing.
Wow.
Wow. Well, Chris, you admitted already that
Yes.
your reading didn't go
No.
according to plan, and Angela wasn't particularly impressed with you. But Gordon, this is when you're at tears at the end. You see, Gordon's work, I hope you don't mind me saying this,
sure.
is with grief counselling.
Absolutely,
really.
yeah.
And you don't charge for your one-to-ones, but you do earn your living with your books. By the way, I have one here, Gordon Smith, Through My Eyes, there you are, through your books and the book tours.
Yeah.
So that's how you earn your living.
Yeah.
But this grief counselling is very interesting, and you hit for Angela on the sense of a man with a heart condition, and this is your father.
Yes, that's right. Who died in December.
Yes.
And we weren't... he couldn't say goodbye, and that came through quite clear.
So for you, however and whatever you think about the work that Gordon does, did you feel somehow lighter by hearing some news?
Absolutely, absolutely. To say, have a sense of a man with smiling eyes saying the words, singing the words, "And you baby," Helen Reddy, who would know that?
But he used to sing that for you?
Yes, he did actually, yes.
But both of you gentlemen would say, I think you're both united in saying, be careful how you part and where you part with your money.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And especially somebody who's had a loss, because you are likely to be drawn into somebody's advert or something like this, because they do pull you in. And I would say, trust the medium or the psychic by their charge, and by that I mean those who don't overdo it. So.
Yeah.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you. What I like is that they both really enjoy each other's work, which makes me feel they're both pretty genuine. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in. We'll see you in a minute.